whatever you want to do with it.
But it's not. It's Tierney's, it's Saka's, and it's Aubameyang's.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If they move to the 2-striker system, like you're saying, I think Bukayo Saka would, since he would have way more space then, could actually create with it. Because I think you're right. Like you're giving Bukayo Saka the ball with Tierney right beside him on the right, and then Aubameyang right beside him on the left. If his feet are on the end line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's 3 of your 10 players all right
Plus,
next to each other.
If Aubameyang is so desperate for goals right now, and you know he is, why are you not playing him at striker? Like with Rooney, whenever he was going through a goal drought, like you could play him through that, and he would still do things. It doesn't seem like Aubameyang's doing anything for Arsenal. And then like Martial, same thing. You can play certain strikers through a dip, but Martial needs to be benched.
There's no competition at the club in our case. Well, even in Arsenal's case.
Well, now you got Cavani, and I think Greenwood coming on. I do think in the next few weeks that you're going to see, if they're all staying fit and Cavani doesn't get a ban, that you're going to see Rashford, Cavani, Greenwood. Or you're going to see Martial, Cavani, Greenwood. I think Martial lost that number 9 spot, and I think in the long run, Ollie doesn't fancy Martial up top. But back to Arsenal,
you don't think he does?
No, because the second he got in,
he's playing him all the time
because he doesn't have anyone.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
But this one, but I don't think Ollie does, because he tried to bring in Haaland, didn't get him. Tried to bring it, then he brought in Igalo.
He went after the most expensive teenager in the world. It's no shock he didn't get him. But it's not, we're going for the big name in the newspaper every single transfer window. We're not scouting for actual strikers.
But that's the point I'm saying is that Ollie clearly doesn't like Martial at 9, because he's constantly looking for other strikers to bring in. He got rid of Lukaku just because I think Lukaku was like, I'm done with this place. But he wanted to bring in Haaland. He brought in Igalo because he was so desperate for an actual number 9 that can hold the ball up. And then he brought in Cavani. So clearly, if you bring in 3 strikers in a position that you already have a striker for that you say you have, you don't want them. And that's what I'm saying with Ollie, is that everyone's always saying how he's not savage enough, or he's not this, or he's not that. If you look at the teams when he took over to now, he said that Sanchez has a spot on the team. Sanchez got fucked off. He said that Ashley Young has a spot in the team. Ashley Young got fucked off. He said that Lukaku had a spot in the team, got fucked off. Same with Smalling. Same with Phil Jones. Phil Jones is still a United player, but Ollie hasn't played him once. And the only time he played last season was when every other defender was injured. So this whole thing about Ollie's too soft, like he may seem soft, like when it comes to the press conference, but behind the scenes he's quite clearly being a fucking asshole to people. Not like outright being an asshole, but like he's cutting off all the shit that he does not want, quite clearly. And the thing about Arteta is he can't do that because there's literally nothing he can do because Arsenal don't have the money. They do not have the money.
Yeah.
They got. I think the fact that he won the FA Cup is what got him party. If they didn't win the FA Cup, I don't think they sign him.
No,
I really don't.
No,
and I think Arteta, again, I think he's a great coach, but I don't think he's a good manager. And I don't think Ollie's a good manager, and I don't think Lampard's a good manager. Well, I don't think that they're not good managers, but I don't think that they're managers of teams that are with the name of Arsenal, United, and Chelsea. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes. Another thing too is we've gone over Guendouzi, but what's a midfield with Partey and Guendouzi look like? 2 workhorses. We don't know because you fucked Guendouzi off. What about Torreira, an actual defensive mid?
And you fucked him off.
You fucked him off. So it's you've only done it to yourself. I mean, Arsenal. They've got Cedric, a right back that they bought and never played.
I think he played 1 game.
Yeah, and it's not that he was bad. He was one of the top. It was Southampton's right back for years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Again, the Guendouzi situation I kind of understand, because if he's talking shit to you as a manager and you're his boss, you can't have that.
Sure, but you have to fill his spot.
Yeah, and you
bring up Kolasinac, your 3rd left back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, dude, it must really suck being an Arsenal fan right now.
Fucking use your head. I mean, the board, the coach, it's all dumb shit. It's like you Dude, a midfield of Torreira, Guendouzi, and Partey, nobody gets through that midfield. Not one time during any game, nobody gets through that trio.
And if they're about to, they're going to get kicked.
Yeah, they're going to get fucked up.
Did Torreira go to Atletico?
Atletico.
Yeah.
Good move for him.
Good move for him.
Yeah.
Especially now that Partey's gone.
Yeah.
And then you just sit behind Saul.
Mm-hmm. Got it easy.
Yeah.
Got it real easy.
Who, is David Silva at Sociedad?
Yeah.
Dude.
No, he's not at Sociedad. He's king of Sociedad.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was about to say.
I think
him and Januzaj.
Yeah. They also, who is it?
They've got that one midfielder, that blonde guy I know. I can't remember his name.
They've got a left, is it the left winger I'm thinking of that's there too? Oh, Yarzabal?
Yes, yeah.
He's
yeah,
wrong.
Yeah. He
He's
was
really
at,
good.
I think he's on loan from Real Madrid.
No.
I know he played for Real Madrid. Or he was signed for them at some point.
I don't believe, for the past 2 or 3 years he's been at, maybe at Sociedad the whole time. He's been at Spanish
maybe Real
teams.
were in for him, but I know that name because of Real Madrid.
He's decent. And then they've got they've got that Porto guy also on right wing.
And
Yeah, their wingers are sick, dude. Do you know about Porto?
Yeah, well, I don't know of him, but I see. And they have Nacho Monreal from Arsenal.
Yeah, Porto's associate. They have a good team. They're not short of players. They have a really good team.
Illa Merendi. That's a solid fucking midfielder to have, Champions League winner.
Yeah, they're going to be fun. Sociedad.
Of course, United draw them in the Europa League.
They're a really good side. I'm not sure who their striker is at the moment.
And that's it. But that's the thing that's going to suck for Ollie is that United are expected to beat this team, right? Sociedad.
No, we're not.
No,
Who's expecting Ollie to beat this team?
No, I'm telling you. I guarantee you, when you get on Twitter, it's going to be, if United win, it's going to be like, oh yeah, they beat Sociedad, right?
Dude, everybody on there is dumb as shit.
Well, yeah, but I'm telling you that the papers are going to be if United lose to Sociedad, are going to be Ollie's job is in danger because they lost Sociedad. But Sociedad are the best team in Europe, arguably right now.
You could argue
in form.
Yeah. But another thing also is that I was talking to my buddy who doesn't watch like soccer all that much.
I don't know. Maybe I just remember him from. Sorry to interrupt, but I think I just remember him from playing for Spain. I don't know.
He's been a top young prospect Spanish winger for a while.
Maybe that's it because I
believe he's been associated that for a couple years for a while.
Dude, who was in for him a while ago? There was definitely someone who was trying to buy him. Like last year.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. Let me see if I can find it. But
I was talking to my buddy, and he was asking. He said, like on ESPN, they said the RB Leipzig Man U game was like a huge upset, and I said I thought about it, and it's like that's only an upset for people who aren't Man United fans.
Yeah,
like
and
looking at it from outside looking in, you're looking at it's like, oh damn, the giant Man United fell, but it's like that, and we haven't been that giant in years. It's like it's not that much of an upset. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're not expected to win. We're not expected to win 50% of our games for real.
And also, Leipzig just got to the semifinals of the Champions League and lost to the. Did they lose to PSG in the semifinals?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So I mean, we had 2 semifinalists in our group, or a finalist and a semifinalist in our group, and everyone was still like, when United didn't get out, like, oh, they didn't get out. But it's like, the reason why you can make fun of United is because they had it in the bag and they fucked it off in Istanbul. Yeah. That is that is how you can make fun of them. They were not expected to get out of that group.
Right.
I didn't expect them to get out of the group. Right. I really didn't.
What, Man U?
Yeah, I didn't expect them to get out.
It looked likely. It's not that it wasn't possible. And a 5-0 against Leipzig and a 1-0 at Paris made it seem logical.
2-1 at Paris.
2-1 at Paris made it seem logical. You know what I mean? But if look at the goal difference between all 4 of those games, and we're still a +3 or 4.
Yeah.
So.
And that Leipzig game probably shouldn't have been 5-0, but
they played their ass off last 30 minutes. Those were some quick
goals. When we subbed on Rashford and Bruno, just fucked their throat.
Yeah, and Shivani,
because they played such a high line. They were trying to push to get goals back, but they were being.
So do we, but this is what you were saying about having fast defenders, though. Is that like they have some of the quickest defenders in that tournament in the Champions League?
Yeah, but when you're sprinting against Marcus Rashford, there's very rare defenders going to catch up to him.
Yeah, but there's multiple Marcus Rashfords out there. I'm trying to say like us getting the guy that Rashford outpaced isn't the end all be all.
Yeah,
like it's one thing to be fast and you can tackle. It's another one to be positionally and defensively aware.
Yeah,
which is, believe it or not,
is like
which is what Van Dijk is. Van Dijk's not fast.
Yeah,
he's just always in the right spot. He holds a line.
I don't know. Van Dijk is, for how big he is, he's fairly
He's
fast.
not beating up the Meccano in a foot race.
No,
but you see what I mean though. Is like
he looks fast because of how his positioning is. I guess. Yeah.
He's always in the right area.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking don't leave the middle of the field. You're a center back. You're not a defensive mid. Maguire honestly
steps up way too high. Way too high.
All the time. Yeah, and that's exactly where you get beat. And especially don't step up that high when Shaw's on your left. Be a teammate. Yeah. You know what I mean? Be a captain.
You've got a guy with Downs over there on the left side of the field. Why are you leaving him all alone?
Somebody was saying that Maguire looks like he plays for himself, and I couldn't agree with that more. It was one of the pundits I saw on TV, and he does look like he plays for himself. He looks like he defends for himself. He only defends when like it's appropriate for him. Any other time, he just looks dumb, as if like. Because half the goals that go in, he goes like, "What the fuck happened?" As if he doesn't know.
That's how everyone is.
I understand that, but I understand that, but it's with Maguire.
As a captain, you should be the one who's I agree. If you're a captain, you should not be the one being like, "What the fuck."
Or I've never seen him do that. Like my bad. Like you know what I mean? You're giving him a ban because he's the tallest guy out there with the biggest forehead, and that's not who a captain is. Could be, but not every time.
I'd argue that you could give the captaincy to Marcus Rashford.
I'd give it to McTominay.
Well, if I was going to give it to anyone, I'd give it to Bruno. But
either him or Hendo, whenever Hendo gets that spot. Which, look,
I think it's coming.
It's coming.
I think it's coming. But if you're Arsenal, right, you're going to have to go for Europa if you want any chance of Europe next year.
It's too late. It's too late. You can't ask a team who's getting raped for the first 15 games to do the next 30.
But I think
next 20.
I think they went 6 for 6 in their Europa League group.
Oh, I thought you meant compete to place for Europa.
No. I mean,
win Europa this year.
Yeah. I think that's the only way they get into Europe.
That's kind of what they're concentrating on.
Which is basically what Mourinho did when we won Europa. After the halfway point of the season, he was like, "We're not winning the league," so he focused everything on Europa.
Well, it's not a bad move either. You want to win the trophies you can win.
Yeah,
you're not winning Premier League,
and you could win it, and you could get in the Champions League that way. So I mean, it makes sense. Did you know that the Champions League before it was the Champions League or the UEFA Cup and then the Champions League? It used to be the
European Cup.
It was the European Cup and the European Cup Winners' Cup. So the European Cup was all the winners of all the leagues in Europe, right? And then the Cup Winners' Cup was whoever won the FA Cup or the equivalent in all the other countries. So like the Copa del Rey in Spain would play the person who played the FA Cup in England, and it was 2 different competitions though.
So, and what would they do if somebody playing in the...
Okay, yeah. So if they won both the league and the cup,
right?
It would be
like the semifinal.
You go to the Cup Winners' Cup. Yeah, you go to the Cup Winners' Cup, and then whoever is the finalist plays in the Cup Winners' Cup. So say it was your team and my team played, right? And say that you won the league and you won the cup. You would play in the League Winners' Cup, but you wouldn't play in the Cup Winners' Cup. I would play in the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah.
So if you got second place in the league, you just got fucked. But it's pretty interesting the way, if you go back and look at the Europa League and Champions League, how it developed. Because Europa League wasn't a thing until I think maybe I don't want to say, but it was very recently, like within the last 10 years.
Was Champions League? Did that start in the mid-2000s?
Champions League was the UEFA Champions League, right? Which is still technically is, but now people call it UEFA Europa League, right?
For the Europa,
yeah. But with the Champions League, they just call it Champions League. They took UEFA took the UEFA off the top of it, because it used to be even on the game balls. Like now, it's just like the Champions League star kind of thing, and then it says Champions League,
right?
And then it has like a little UEFA at the bottom. Well, it used to be UEFA Champions League.
Okay.
And that was, I want to say it was in like 2010 that changed.
So It was the European Cup up until the 90s. Then it was the UEFA European Cup.
Well, I think it was always UEFA, but it was European Cup and then the Cup Winners' Cup. So the
two tournaments. Yeah.
Or
Got
two
that.
And then